This is the 2019 Honda HR-V. The HR-V has been on sale for 3.5 years now, and it has been one of the key models that has helped propel Honda back into the sales charts after years of lackluster performance, especially in the late 2000s. And if you need proof, just go on the road because these things are literally everywhere. But this is a segment that likes to move quickly. So for the 2019 model year, Honda has introduced a number of styling and engineering tweaks to keep the HR-V feeling new. A new variant has been added to the range, which is the sports-styled RS model you see here, and it adds a number of features including 18-inch alloy wheels, a blacked-out chrome grille, black body kit, and dark chrome door handles. And inside there's the addition of heated leather seats, a sports steering wheel, and aluminium pedals. Happily, all HR-Vs now come with autonomous emergency braking as standard. And if you're wondering what HR-V actually stands for, Honda say it's a hip and smart runabout vehicle. I'm just going to leave it there. Inside the cabin, I wanted to focus on what Honda has changed for this model year. So if you want to see this interior more in depth, have a look at my 2017 HR-V video in the top right hand corner. The top two variants get this new sports steering wheel, and it's coated in this lovely leather. It's much softer than before, and it matches the CR-V and the new Civic. On the left, controls for media and Bluetooth telephone, and on the right, cruise control and settings for the multi-information display. There are also paddle shifters, but keep in mind this is a CVT, so you won't be changing gears, more just pre-programmed ratios. And on the right, the door bins are just large enough for a standard size water bottle. 4 power window switches, a front to automatic, and electric mirrors. The second biggest change is this new infotainment system. Gone is the all-capacitive touch unit, and Honda have brought back some physical buttons, including physical volume controls, which is fantastic. Honda do really need to get some better graphic designers. I know this is a third-party system, but they could have made it feel a little bit more Honda. In saying so, response times are very good, and the unit is very quick to switch between menus, so that shouldn't cause many dramas whilst you're on the road. And the Bluetooth audio connects very quickly. Within 5 to 6 seconds of the unit starting up, it's already connected and streaming your music, which is also great. All variants also get satellite navigation built in, although Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are still missing. Audio sources include AM and FM radio and Bluetooth streaming, with auxiliary, USB, and an HDMI port, which I find quite novel. Never seen anyone use it though. Now, most GPS systems display the speed limit of whatever road you're currently on. However, this system only displays the speed limit after you've passed it. And it doesn't do it straight away. There's a few seconds of delay. And in a country like Australia, you could have easily driven past 6-speed cameras in that time. On the climate controls, for our RS model and above, we get heated seats. Both driver and front passenger dual stage. And happily, they've kept the really good center storage compartment, which can double as cup holders, or you can put larger, taller drinks as well. The armrest just slide forwards and backwards, and it lifts up to reveal a small storage cubby, great for some change, a mobile phone, and some sunglasses. In the subcompact SUV category, the HR-V's cabin is one of the nicest to sit in. There's a good use between soft and hard plastics. The whole center stack is angled towards the driver. And we also get some real stitching, along with soft door cards, and it makes the cabin feel a lot more premium. Now, a couple of you have written to me and said that the water bottle I use to test car storage is way too small. So I went out and I bought this in a new segment that I like to call the Gatorade Chode Test. Essentially, does a water bottle this fat fit anywhere inside the vehicle? Let's find out. So glove box is there. It will just about wedge itself into the center console and underneath in the storage tray. But as you've seen before, door bin's out of luck. But overall, I'd call that a pass. In the back, the coupe-style roofline of the HR-V might lead you to believe that it would make life hell for rear seat passengers. But the rear seat space of the HR-V is actually the largest in its segment. In fact, it's the only subcompact SUV that I would want to do a longer journey in. Because even me, 6'3" or 190 centimeters, I can fit comfortably in the back seats with this seat in its furthest position. I've got enough knee room, enough toe room, And even though my hair is brushing on the headliner, I haven't physically hit it just yet. You also sit up higher than the front seats, which gives you a good view out. It's nice to see that the soft touch materials, including all the stitching, goes through to the rear seats. There is enough space for a standard sized water bottle, 2 mat pockets, one for the driver and front passenger, and there is a 12-volt power outlet. However, there's no rear USB ports. But the position that it's placed, if you were to put a water bottle in it, you wouldn't get access to it. The rear seats though do recline, and there are 2 ISOFIX child mount tethers, one on each outboard seat. Now, I've said this before, but I'll say it again. Honda's Magic Seat system I find one of the best solutions for carrying larger, bulky objects. So, to carry something tall, these seat squabs lift up and lock instantly. And there you've got space for a tall plant or music equipment. And because it's completely flat, there's also underfloor storage. And if you want to fold the seats down, that space underneath means that the seats go completely flat. In my previous HRV video, I didn't do a driving section, but I could summarize the experience in a few words: loud and slow. So in terms of the slow department, the HRV still uses the same 1.8 litre 4-cylinder engine, producing 105 kilowatts of power and 172 Newton meters of torque. Australia-bound models are also all front-wheel drive exclusively. However, when I first got behind the wheel of the new model, it felt faster. And that's because the CVT gearbox has been refined to deliver more linear power delivery. And I have a feeling that the new programming keeps it in a higher ratio for longer, resulting in better acceleration. In normal day-to-day driving situations, it seems to have done the trick, with greater acceleration feel, especially from a standstill. However, put your foot further down and you realize that as much as you can refine a gearbox, you can't take away from the fact that 105 kilowatts isn't a lot of power. Overtaking will require advanced planning, and although the new CVT is quieter, it is by no means quiet under acceleration. Next topic was noise insulation. I remember driving the 2016 HRV on the freeway, and it was an orchestra of tire roar and wind noise. So thankfully Honda have added additional insulation materials in the fenders and the footwells, and it has worked a treat. The cabin is noticeably quieter than before, especially in the region of tire noise. Wind noise is still audible over the wing mirrors at higher speeds, but with the improvements, you wouldn't dread taking the HRV on a longer road trip. In terms of handling, the HRV does it well. This is an SUV, and as it's taller, expect more body roll, but steering weight and feel hits a good balance between light but assertive. I did notice lock-to-lock was less than I expected. There were times that I was parking and found myself reaching maximum turn in fewer revolutions of the wheel than I thought. And as it's based on the Jazz platform, rear suspension is a torsion beam, which means that over rougher roads you will hear the suspension and feel the vibration more than you would in a more sophisticated independent setup. Overall, I feel like the current generation HRV was a good car that just needed some more attention in certain places. For me, that was definitely its drivability. So it's great to see improvements in cabin noise reduction and gearbox response, which all lead to a greater ownership experience. The HRV is an infinitely practical, stylish, compact SUV, and for most people, it'll tick all of their boxes. For me, it just needs more power. And as I record this, Honda UK are putting the 1.5 litre turbo in some of their models, so there's plenty of hope for us.